Hi guys, I'm Krista Nichols. I'm a pediatric speech-language pathologist, and I want to come on here to show you some materials that I bought at Dollar Tree today. This video could be for parents, it could be for other SLP colleagues, just to basically show you some cheap materials that you can buy and how to use it to work on a child's speech, language, articulation, those sorts of things. I'll show you what I got. So my first item that I got was this little pinwheel. You could work on some different things with this. This could be a great visual cue for our kids who are working on speech sound. Maybe a child is working on the phonological process of their stopping sounds. And so maybe they're producing like a short sound instead of a long sound. So maybe they're saying a sound, maybe they're saying, and I feel like I'm totally blanking.
It took me a good few seconds to think of a sound that I wanted to choose.
Okay, so maybe they're saying fit instead of fish. So we want to work on making that a long sound instead of that short little sound. This could be a great cue. We're gonna hold it in front of our face and we're gonna go shh. And of course it doesn't work the first time.
Let's try that again. Shh. Maybe it's all about how you pull it. Okay, we're gonna try that again. Shh.
Okay, we're gonna try that with F instead. Here we go. Okay, there we go. So you can see we're working on, let's make it a long sound. We're gonna make this flower spin for a long time. Ready? We're gonna blow it out forward, bite our lip, blow that air out. Whoa, did you see that spin? Can you make it spin? So this is just a great visual cue for like speech sounds.
Another idea for using this pinwheel is to work on regulation. I know a lot of occupational therapists who will use pinwheels to work on taking a big breath, blowing it out and watching that airflow. And again, I'm not an OT, but I know it can help some of my dysregulated kids.
Found this little alien.
This was another fun sensory toy that I found. I thought the arms were kind of like pop tubes and the hands were like suction cups, so they reminded me of Squigs toys that OTs will use.
Found these little putty eggs.
These eggs were great for another sensory type toy, but also I was thinking for Gestalt Language Processing kids to model some gestalts, like it's squishy, it's sparkly. I love this. And I want to put up there, disclaimer, I am not NLA trained. However, I have done a lot of my own research on NLA, and I do what I can to train myself to help with the kids that I see. And it is on my list to take the course. It's just very expensive, but it's on my list for sure.
This toy is great because you could also work on those gestalts. Talk about describing it with those chunks. Like, it's stretchy. Let's pull it. It's bumpy. I love it. This is fun. Okay, what else did I get? Squishy balls. These are always great. I think these sensory tools are so important for us speech therapists to have because for those moments, especially if you work with high support needs kids, just to have something like bubbles or like squishy toys or something to help work on regulation.
I go on to explain how important it is to collaborate with occupational therapists if you are an SLP. I have the privilege of working with occupational therapists at the clinic that I'm at, and I learn so much. There's so much that I don't know, but whenever an OT is working on something with a kid and then I get that kid next, I always ask them, hey, what'd you guys work on? And is there anything I can carry over into my session?
This was pretty cool. It's a pretend play toy. It's a medical play set, and we can even open it up.
See what's inside. Okay, so my thoughts are.
This is pretty cool. I was thinking for working on some tongue placement, we could make a Play-Doh tongue and put it in there and work on, like if you're working on your R's and you're trying to figure out where do I put my tongue, you can make a Play-Doh tongue, fit it in there.
I go on to explain that another sound that we could work on is the L sound. We could create a Play-Doh tongue and put the tongue tip to the alveolar ridge behind the top front teeth and practice teaching kids to put our tongue tip to that bumpy spot for that L sound. But there are a lot of other sounds that you could work on using the Play-Doh tongue. Here I'm explaining that this toy also comes with a toothbrush. It comes with a tray. It comes with scissors and tweezers too. So this was a great find for only $1.25. You can use this toy for pretend play as well. We can work on a pretend play schema with dental cleaning at the dentist, or okay, it's time to go to bed, let's brush our teeth. There's a lot of functional phrases you can model while playing with this toy as well.
On this cool custom bracelet kit. It was $5. And I've honestly just personally been wanting to make some jewelry for myself. And I thought, you know, I have a lot of girls on my caseload and they love making crafty things, especially at the school that I work at. So I thought this was good for some older kids. It says 13 up, but I think, I don't know. I'm not gonna say anything. Use your discretion. It has some really cute beads.
More beads. More beads. More beads. More beads.
And then we got some thick thread type stuff, thin thread, and some gold chain. So my thought with this activity is articulation. Okay, for each bead that we put onto our thread, we're gonna say our target word. So if you're working on the F sound, we're gonna practice saying.
Okay, we're keeping this PG here. For the life of me, I could not think of a word that started with F that was child appropriate.
Okay. We're gonna practice saying food. That's what I was gonna say the first time. Food, food, food. And we're gonna practice that long airflow. Maybe we can pull this out too. Okay, we're gonna make that long airflow. Food.
I still am having trouble getting this flower to move.
Food, that was better. And that way you're getting a lot of trials, especially because there's so many beads. I love any sort of activity like this, because especially for like, yeah, any Artic kiddo that you have. Okay, Play-Doh. I love Play-Doh. Play-Doh, honestly, for me, I love playing with it because it's kind of calming for me to just pull out the Play-Doh and just have it in my hand, have that tactile input. And so I can only imagine for our kids with high support needs, like that they would need something calming like that too, that it can provide them with input. So I always love Play-Doh because there's so much you can do with it.
Okay, here I'm struggling to open the Play-Doh a little bit, so I end up needing to get up and get some scissors.
Okay, anyways, this is cool because it's silly scents. So there's all these sorts of flavors that I figured kids would really like too. But Play-Doh is awesome for so many things, as I'm sure a lot of my SLP colleagues can agree to. I think this would be a great activity. I love doing Play-Doh with my Artic kids. You get out some cookie cutters and you squish, okay, for each cookie cutter that we do, we're gonna say our word. Or I've seen things where you can roll up little balls. We're gonna say our target word for each ball we do. Okay, we're gonna say sit, sit, sit. And that way you're just getting those trials in.
Here I go on to explain that you can also use Play-Doh for a lot of language activities. And again, back to our Gestalt language processors, there's a lot you can model with Play-Doh. You can talk about what you're doing. You're kind of narrating or commenting. Let's roll it. It's squishy. Let's make a house. Let's make a heart, whatever you're doing. You can use cookie cutters, talk about describing. And again, for our GLPs, you really want to work on reducing questions. You're just going to model and narrate and use those chunks of language depending on the stage. But yeah, there's so much you can do with Play-Doh.
$1.25 for a pack of 2. And last but not least in my bag is a kiddie pool. And my idea for this one was from my coworker, Blakely, who is an OT. Shout out to Blakely. She has an amazing Animal Crossing themed room, and she created a kiddie pool. She has a kiddie pool in there, and she has all these blue plastic balls, and that is her area where kids go fishing with their fishing rod. Kids just jump in there and play with the balls. Like, it's just awesome. And so I love that idea, and this was only $3. So I figured I can create my own and get some balls off of Amazon, because I think that's where she got them. And I just feel like it looks really cute, and you can also do a lot with it as well. So I think that's it.
So that's about it, guys. This is something that was totally new to me. I've been wanting to make a video for a while, and I just really love watching people's blogs, so that's kind of my inspiration. But I hope it was helpful, and I hope you got something out of it. I plan to continue going to the dollar store and going to the thrift store and finding affordable options for therapy materials and sharing it with you guys. And just let me know if you have any comments or questions or anything. But yeah, thanks for watching.
Sharing resources with other people, and I like trying to help people as much as I can, and I just like being creative. So I thought I'd try something different today and start this. But yeah, I hope you liked it, and talk to you guys soon.